everybody, welcome to Spoiler Warning. I'm Mumbles.
I'm Rootsgarn.
I am Josh sometimes.
And I'm Chris.
And we are surveying our collection of tires,
Yes.
blood bags, and
Dead raiders.
canisters. And, we're just making sure they're all okay. Oh, that guy's dead. He's
Wait.
cool.
Were we in the process of rescuing Straw? Oh wait, that's right. We got this far.
Many thanks
Yeah.
for that timely rescue.
Here's Shakespeare Man.
Oh, yeah,
man,
we
there's
got
two
Rome.
great options here that'll probably be really disappointing. So pay me or you're an idiot.
Pick you're an idiot. That's so confrontational. Let's see how
You're an idiot.
confrontational it is.
I suppose that Bob was
Yeah,
just
okay.
a
Wow.
I'm sure
You know
he'll
what?
get
That's
really
fair.
mad.
That was...
Oh, wait.
Yes, well, in any event.
Oh wait, nobody cares when you insult them in this
I'd like to
game.
have this.
Nobody takes it personally,
Excuse me?
ever.
I think it's time I left this awful place. I'm returning to WRVR and resuming my career
Goodbye,
in
Shakespeare Nixon.
Did you
Oh,
know
I
that
hate
we're
that
an
sound
idiot
effect so
savant?
much.
Go find milk of human kindness with Strong.
Okay.
Why do you want to
Okay.
find this milk of human kindness?
Milk is secret. to
Let's go
human.
drink some milk.
Macbeth say milk.
So-
I like how
what
they
is
spell it
the-
wrong in the
stronger
subtitles.
than super mutant.
I've never actually
Strong
done
find
Strong's side
Drink
quest. Do
milk.
you have to go find
Does he
milk?
have one?
Mutant stronger than human.
I just
I
assumed
don't
there
know
was.
if he even has a quest.
He's the most
There should be.
straightforward. Does he really not have one? He's the most
The
straightforward
problem with
about
Strong
it.
is he hates all the stuff that's necessary to do in this game, like lockpicking.
Yeah, that's why I don't keep him around.
Should we have
The
him come
other-
with
the
us
other
to...
problem with Strong is that his
to
joke is,
Goodneighbor?
his central joke is kind of lame and not super well developed. Can I say something positive? Super Mutant design in this game is great.
We need to swap some
Super
gear.
Mutants have
Strong
never
can
looked
do
better.
more than puny humans.
Yeah, they abandoned their whole shitty dead end like let's
Yeah, this
turn
looks
them
more
into
like-
rage zombies, and they took the like comic booky like kind of cool cartoonish look from the talking head segments, and they improved it by making them look like carved olives.
I do think they look more like Fallout 1 and 2 Super Mutants than the stuff in Fallout 3, which looked like, oh, the Hulk is a super mutant, right? Yeah, that's it.
I've said it before, but this game actually looks a lot more like Fallout's 1 and 2 than Fallout 3 or New Vegas ever did.
Yeah. And that wasn't really New Vegas' fault so much as it was just reusing so many assets from Bethesda's
That's certainly
stuff.
That's certainly true, but New Vegas also had its own aesthetic going. This game, like the architecture and even like the guns and the armor, it looks a lot like an expansion of the 2D sprites from Fallout's 1 and 2.
Strong go with human.
All right, should we take Strong with us for a while and see what happens?
Why not?
All
I'm
right.
decided for it
I'll
to
honor
break
my
somehow.
Good.
Wait, did we make a
Strong
promise?
Travel with human.
I don't remember this
Human
part.
helps Strong find milk.
You
of
didn't pick the right
human
dialogue option,
kindness.
Josh. If you don't pick the right dialogue
Stronger
option, how can you expect the
secret of
conversation to make
human.
sense?
Hey, big guy. Don't eat this one, all right?
Robo-Man
I like
not tell
that.
Strong
Good
what
moment.
to do.
Yeah, the companions always have this like cool little bit of banter when you switch them out, or at least most of the time.
Companions are actually one of the stronger things about this game.
Humans all look funny.
Yeah, so I always romance Hancock because he's the coolest. And if you, one time I was running around with Nick, and then I switched over to Hancock, and Nick was like, "All right, you guys don't get in any trouble," and Hancock's like, and I'm like, and then it felt like a real moment. Like, we're obviously gonna go get in a lot of shit.
Yeah, like you feel like Nick just turned the corner. He's like, "Are they fucking? I wonder if they're fucking."
Ooh,
Like any
comic
moment.
shop.
Oh, Hubris Comics. That was pretty okay. That was pretty
should
cool.
we go
I
in
guess.
here, or should we save this until we're on the Silver Shroud stuff? 'Cause
Save
that's
it for
part
the
of the
Silver
quest.
Shred stuff.
Silver Shred.
I actually don't know how I feel about the like. How did you guys feel about the computer terminals around at the comic book office?
What was in them?
Refresh my
It was
memory.
like the drama about the
What's hard?
writers and everybody getting fired.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. It seemed like
It felt
was...
a bit on the nose, like maybe a little too much.
Yeah. Witty commentary about writing video games.
Terminals in this. The terminals in this game aren't actually that great. You know, a lot of them really feel
They
sort of
suck.
amateurish. And, like the one in the brewery, like that gets shared on our gaming like every other week. That's the terminal, like, you know, the secretary bumped into me. If she does it again, I'm gonna stab her in the neck with a pencil. She's a good kid. It's actually really clumsily written. Like, and everything in that
Yeah.
building is clumsy.
I don't
where it's
remember
like-
ever seeing this one.
It was like they're going for a joke like, oh man, this guy's such a psychopath that he doesn't even realize it. But they botched the joke. It's way too ham-handed. And actually, that whole
Yeah.
building is full of, like, terminals that are like, man, why are we stuffing this vault full of drugs? It's so weird to stuff a vault full of drugs. Is anyone else curious?
Yeah.
Also, we're stuffing it full of Jet, despite the fact that Jet canonically was not put in vaults, because Jet was
Well,
invented
that's Bethesda's
by
fault.
All right,
Marvin,
all right,
baby.
all right. All right. I was
the Honey
actually
Badger
wondering
Red
when
Scarn.
we accidentally jump into that fucking topic again, because I was playing
Everybody
it and
drink
someone was like,
all the
yeah,
whiskey.
here's
Or
some
whatever your
Jet
drink of
that
choice
was
is.
before the war. And I was like, oh, Red Scarn would not like
Oh,
that.
wow, that guy
Red Scarn
exploded
would
mid-bats.
have a problem with that, for sure.
I, like, don't get heavily into the lore of video games, or almost anything, actually. And so, when I do know lore, though, I tend to be,
Yeah.
like, really an asshole about it.
Especially when it's something so basic. Like, okay, in wrestling, a submission hold is when you, like, grab someone's neck and you pull on it so it's hard for them to breathe. And so, like, it's like, oh, submission hold. And then if someone does it on a table and then someone
Oh,
says,
sweet.
oh no,
Holy
they're
shit!
doing this. Oh,
How did...
is that good?
Sorry, keep going. This is the one that gives you the Chinese stealth armor stuff. I've never run into one of these in the wild in my game of like 50 hours. We got this in 10. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
I don't remember.
Table.
It doesn't matter.
Hold on a tape.
Oh, there's no difference between doing a submission hold in the middle of the ring and on top of a table. You've got them in a chokehold. It has nothing to do with which surface you are doing the fucking submission hold on. So it's not more badass if it's on a fucking table. Who gives a shit? Yeah, that kind of stuff. That makes me insane, because it's small details.
This is
See,
the armor
like-
that does this.
The origins of Jet are at least somewhat obscure and don't really matter. I'm more bothered, and I know Seamus would be mad at me for saying this, that there are even super mutants here. Because they can't reproduce, and they're
Why would
means
Seamus be
of...
mad at you for saying what he thinks?
Well,
Let's all think
yeah,
of
but-
fun ways how the super mutants got here. Here's my
Okay.
idea. They were born in LA, and they're like, oh, this place is lame. There's fires all the time,
They're
and like
hipster super
everything's
mutants.
overpriced, and there's no jobs that could get us a place that's bigger than like a 4-inch apartment.
I got
So
one.
let's leave.
Hold up
And
there.
so all of
First
the
time
super
in Goodneighbor?
mutants made a train
Around without
out of
insurance.
scrap metal, and then they rode the
back
train
off, or
over
you're the
to
one
the
who's
other
gonna
side
need
of the
insurance.
country.
Well,
The end.
Okay, I got one.
We'll
In
just
LA,
say your insurance
on like the
is paid up for
coast,
now.
they made they made a bunch of like trading boats, like with sails. And one of the super mutants was climbing up the top sails,
What do
and he
you
lost
care?
his leg.
He ain't one of us.
So a
No
bunch of
love
super
for
mutants
you.
are like, "Oh man, let's ship out to Boston."
Go. You soft head.
Boo.
You keep
But
letting
the-
outsiders
Okay.
walk all
No,
over
that's
us.
dumb.
All right,
One day,
I got one.
you man.
So in LA, there was the Master, and he was setting up all of his evil, super mutant plans, and the super mutants didn't like that, and so they were gonna leave. But then the Wanderer showed up and killed them all. But that's okay, because it turned out there was another Master on the East Coast that had the exact same plan as the Master on the West
Oh.
Coast, and just happened to do everything, including having a Wanderer, and it's just the exact same thing.
Oh,
I think
Very
okay,
coincidental.
Hancock is really pissed off right now because he's trying to have his big moment where he's so badass because someone insults him, so he stabs him to death, and then we out badass him by we out like degenerate him by as the guy's falling, picking him down to his underwear before his corpse hits the ground. We're basically an Olaf character.
Good neighbors of the people, for the people. You feel me?
So I've got an idea for where the supermutants came from. Okay, so the Institute, right? They're pretty nuts, and they're trying to find ways to do things, and so they have an experiment where they kidnap people from the wasteland somehow and turn them into super mutants for like 50 years, and then let them get released into the wild for some reason. And then the lead scientist shuts it down because he thinks it's unethical, but then he turns into a super mutant, but he needs his glasses.
You're right.
I was
God
thinking
damn
this
it.
is
That
really
is what
stupid. Where are you
happens.
going with
Son of
this?
a
And then I
bitch.
realized, oh shit, that actually fucking happened.
Yeah.
God
It's
damn
in the
it!
fucking game.
God
I
damn
know
it!
we've had conversations about it, but it's still a stupid
Good.
answer.
You stay cool, and you'll be part of the neighborhood. So long as
At least
you-
they lampshaded it.
Okay, so this is Hancock and he's my boyfriend, and the whole stabbing thing to show off how much of a badass he is super lame because he doesn't have that attitude towards anything.
Yeah, I
towards the
felt
rest
that
of the
was
game.
weird
The rest
because
of the
after that
game-
he's just like pretty much congenial.
Yeah, the rest of the game, he really prefers it if you can solve problems with your wit and charm.
Hello.
And so it's weird that he's like, I'm gonna stab this guy, but whatever, it doesn't matter. He's a cutie.
To injure, maim, or
Yep.
kill
Got
at
no
your
nose,
discretion.
though.
Except me.
It doesn't matter.
I only
If you have a
kill
nice
when I
enough
want
personality,
to.
people can think that you're cute.
This is the coolest shopkeeper.
I liked her a lot, actually.
What is maybe?
Let me think it over.
Everyone always
I love
wants a
her.
free peek.
What is happening here? All right.
Oh, another
Cleo,
customer coming in
what will
and
you give me for this?
superimposing a diaper-wearing cretin around my midsection.
Hunting, protection, cold.
What are you?
I'm a woman.
Just like
baby.
femme
Can't you
fatale robot.
Oh, of
Can
course
you make
are.
out
okay,
with this
inventor.
robot?
All those metal
So,
plates.
I,
You're a robot.
I
right?
didn't really
A very
hang
woman.
around in Goodneighbor
Was
too
that
much.
April Fine?
Basically just came in here and did whatever the... Oh my god, that's close.
Now, are you
Um,
doing anything?
Did,
Oh,
did
mama.
So,
the main...
what kind of weapons do you have?
Did the main story quest for this mission, or this area. But,
Except suicidal depression.
I don't, like, as much
That
as we were making fun of Diamond City, this area in particular feels like a collection of character-relevant plot points and not really
Sure.
much of an
Let's
actual
take a look.
functioning city.
For every occasion.
Goodneighbor is
Yeah.
like Bethesda's crazy being put to good use.
That's
like it.
That's fair. I was just saying, like, the first shop you see when you come in is a gun shop, and there's not really any sense of a regular commerce area. And then you round the corner, and then there's the little open area with all the druggies, and then there's the memory shop, and that's kind of the whole town, other than the
The hotel.
with there's the hotel,
Yeah.
and then there's the crazy lady with the evil gangster lady.
I'm really keeping my eye
Oh.
out for the
Hey,
open world
here's
game that
someone.
has real feeling urban spaces because I think that's the thing I'm looking forward to the most is the day I'm playing a noir game where I can really sit down in a bar and there's like a couple interesting characters and like I can, sneak out and follow a guy home and
Right.
it
Let's see
feels
what you have.
Purchase a variety.
fun
I know. I
and interesting instead of just lame.
The biggest issue I have is the bar in Diamond City was a really good place to have that kind of thing happen because you feel like you start to be a regular at the bar and then you get to know the owners and all that stuff. And it would have been cooler if there were more quests or more interesting things, but there's really no reason to go in there after you do the radio guy's quest. So,
Yeah. It's like
But at least it had
the-
that, right? I don't think this town has anything like that.
There's like,
It has
actually, it
stuff.
has something better. I would say is that it has like the underground bar where there's like performances happening.
Yeah,
And that's actually a
definitely.
thing. That's a thing to be there and watching. It like creates a connection between the gameplay and the narrative.
Did you say something about people
And
screaming?
you have to go in there for a
That's
bunch of
right.
different things,
Some
not just for one
newcomers have never
quest.
seen a ghoul before.
Also, this
Can't
is
handle
an interesting place in that it's full of ghouls,
So you
many
need
of whom
some
are from
supplies?
before the war, such as this lady.
What's it like? You
Oh,
know,
I love
So
this
there's
lady.
a way to connect,
Yeah.
like to draw a
It's a
connection
lot
between your
worse when
character, who's
people
also
always
from before the
ask you about
war,
it all the
and had some
time.
fucked up stuff happen to them
But I guess
with the
I
ghouls.
can't
Like Bethesda doesn't really do
On the
anything with
upside,
this idea,
I
but
look pretty
it's
good
interesting
for being over
to think about, I
220 years
guess,
old.
which is the best
Now,
praise you
will
can
you
give to a
behind me
Bethesda
then?
idea.
wait, you're 220 years old?
Okay, it's more like
Oh my god, you're 220 years
but
old?
Don't go blabbing that to everyone.
Me
Being a ghoul means you
too.
live a long time.
Can we
You
be
stop counting
buddies?
birthdays. Do
And then it's
you
interesting
know
that
what it's
Hancock
like
turns
being
out to
that
not
old?
actually be any older than any normal person.
Actually?
Do you know
I
what it's
do.
like being that old? What's it
now
like?
you
Maybe
just made
no,
it
yes.
fun.
That's the best
If you
possible
was
response to a
always honest, you
straightforward
around
question.
before the war. So let's
Which
hear
is
it.
also
Come on.
really a
Tell me
stupid
what the
question,
world
let's be
was like
fair.
before the
Like,
war
that was a
or something.
really stupid question. It's like, I got 6
It was pretty
arms.
much
Do
what
you
we
know
have
what it's
now,
like having 6
just with less
arms?
rust.
And you're like, sort of.
Yeah,
And they're
that's
like, fuck
true,
you.
isn't it? Well, you're either the most well-preserved ghoul I've ever seen, or you're the second best bullshitter in Goodneighbor.
That wasn't a really good
Ah.
bullshit.
No, that was a terrible bullshit. Josh, you're a terrible
So, what do you
bullshitter.
remember?
I'm
past.
sorry.
Oh, sweetie, I was an angry young woman back then. Thought the world was sick and wouldn't give me my due. Then it all ended.
Like, wouldn't it be cool
I
if,
would have been
like,
away.
you had the
Becoming a
option
ghoul.
to romance a
Maybe when you
ghoul
get to
from
be
before the
my
war,
age,
like
everything's
just some
gonna
side
be
character,
right.
as like
Anyway,
a
I
like a
like
way
can.
like, oh, I can't
that,
connect with
whether or
people
not it's
from
true.
this timeline, but like I can still reminisce about
Yeah.
like how it was.
Oh,
It's
right.
so Bethesda to let
You
you
know,
be
if
able
you
to
haven't
keep your
already,
wedding ring
You should check
from
out the
before the
hotel
war,
first.
and then
There's
also
another
romance
cool
whoever you want,
ghoul
like
hanging around there.
at the same time.
Man.
We should get back
Yeah,
to business.
that part was
What are
really
you
weird.
cooking up?
That was really weird. I had
kind
to
of things
take
do
my
you-
know how-
I had to take the
Oh,
ring
a bit
off
of
because I
everything.
felt weird about
Canned
it.
beans,
Like,
tomatoes.
I was like, this
Okay.
doesn't seem right.
Here's how I would have
So
here's how I
chances
would
are
have
you'll
written
find
my
something to
Fallout
like
4
in here, ready
if
to
I was
take
stuck
a
with the same
look.
premise. It's like, instead of
I'll take a look,
Kellogg,
sure.
it's
Cash
like,
or trade?
oh no,
Let's get started.
spouse trapped outside vault, you know, bombs falling, something like that. And then you find out spouse is a ghoul, has had like 200 years without you, and is
Got some
like,
good
has all these happy
You
life
over.
experiences.
Got any work?
I do,
And like
actually.
interesting life
Super
experiences,
mutants
it
have taken over
has
the
trouble
old
relating
Boston
to you
Public
now.
Library. I got a lot of fond memories of that place from when I was a
Yeah, that
girl.
would be really interesting.
Human. You
That's
get
too
And like you find out,
interesting.
and like the
Besides
ghoul
games.
has a lover
I'll
now.
pay you 200 caps.
They've been married for like 100 years or something.
I don't think that's enough money to cover.
To this other
clearing
ghoul
out
who
a
you
whole
don't like
building.
very
Look,
much.
I've been
Like the
shilling
ghoul should be
dues for 2
slightly
centuries,
unlikable
and
to you.
just overplayed your
Like you
hand.
should
She's
get off
married
on
to
the hood.
Hancock.
Take it or leave it.
And you're like, ghoul, she's no good for you.
You got a deal, Daisy.
Thanks.
Do we
Hey,
are
while you're
ghouls
there,
also
could you
infertile? Can
return
ghouls
this book for
reproduce,
me?
or is
It's
that
from the
not
library.
canon?
Don't even.
I don't
Sterile.
think ghouls can reproduce. I think
think
it's the same
they're
thing
sterile.
with like any FEV stuff. Strong hated me accepting this quest.
Where did you see that?
Books. Fuck books. I'm just all about books, is my backstory. I don't know.
So, can I complain for a second? As much as I love the lighting in this game, this area does not look like the promotional art of Nick Valentine walking through this district.
No.
No.
Not at all.
It's more like being on a
It's-
movie set for that
That's
particular
what the
shot.
art was from. I was trying to figure out like where is that scene where Nick is walking through the dark alleyway? It's here. Jesus.
It's a bad
Yeah.
song.
I think so.
Yeah,
Oh,
this game doesn't
okay.
look as good as it might have. And I know a lot of people
And it
who have
still looks
much higher
better than you'd
standards than I
expect
do.
for Bethesda.
Yeah, but like I know a lot of people who have higher standards than I do think this game is ugly. And that's interesting. I can see where they're coming from, actually. I think that Bethesda has always made very poor use of the technology and the artists available in a given generation. I think that they have a way of spinning gold into gold-colored steel. Everything just looks kind of shabbier and less dynamic and less cool than it should. And that's universal.
We need to start wearing tuxedos.
All the way back to the shabby coloring book appearances of characters in Arena and Daggerfall, straight on to the, like, bad old days of 3D, of Morrowind, straight on to the pantyhose doll rotting pumpkins of Oblivion, and the whittled by a Scandinavian woodsman appearances of Skyrim.
Newcomers are.
So I just went and checked. That picture, that promotional art, is from right outside the memory den.
Wow.
So I'd like to point out there's a quest where you get like a gendered clothing option that has the best charisma bonus on any clothing option in the game. If you're a woman, you get one that looks like the sequin dress. If you're a man, you get one that's called Reginald's suit, which sounds really cool until you put it on and realize it looks like this.
Oh my god, so sexy.
Wait, is it actually called Reginald's suit?
Yes, it is.
Is that a reference to us?
So, I don't know.
Let's pretend like it is and be like, wow, we're cool.
It would make a bunch of sense if Reginald's suit was this battered piece of shit, like settler's outfit, and it still gave charisma +3.
There are times when we are playing this game that I think that they might be referencing us, because like that seems a little too on the nose.
No. If they were going to put a reference in this game, you would just walk into a town and there'd be somebody eating a breakfast cereal, and somebody be like, "What are you eating?" And they're like, "Oh, it's my favorite pre-war breakfast cereal." And they're like, "What's it called?" And they're like, "It's called Shut Up, Seamus Young. This is what the fuck we eat."